Regrettable. That's what Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council has called the attendance of Taiwanese politicians at Beijing's World War II military parade. That parade saw China show off some of its newest unmanned weapons capabilities, including controversial new anti-drone systems. Plus, President Lai is condemning China for drilling for oil in Taiwan's exclusive economic zone. Good evening, and welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Eric Gao. A day after China held a massive military parade to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council is criticizing Taiwanese politicians who went to Beijing to attend. Cadence Caranta was just at the council's press conference, and she joins us live from there. Cadence, what did they say about all this?
The Mainland Affairs Council today condemned the former chair of the opposition Kuomintang, Hong Xiuzhu's attendance at the parade. It had previously banned any Taiwanese government officials or former government officials that held key defense or intelligence roles from attending, and it urged all Taiwanese people not to take part. But Hong and several other figures attended anyway. She was seen multiple times in live streams of the event sitting alongside Communist Party officials. There's also been reports that her and other Taiwanese attendees would meet with a top CCP official, but that's not clear whether or not that has happened. Although the council pointed to the fact that her attendance goes against the government's position on China, they did say that it seems like Hong didn't break any rules this time. They had previously said that she may have violated her ban because in a previous position she held, she had access to sensitive information, but it seems like today they're saying that that is not the case.
So Cadence, other than these political figures, were there any other Taiwanese involved?
There was a bit of controversy around a number of Taiwanese entertainers who shared a social media post from CCTV about commemorating the 80th anniversary of World War II and the parade. And that's gotten some attention because the council has been investigating the influence of the Chinese Communist Party on Taiwanese entertainers. And it recently issued warnings over a number of entertainers that had shared a pro-unification post from CCTV. But today the council said it doesn't seem like these posts cross any lines.
其实两岸之间，所谓的合作行为对我们来说最重要的是，你有没有这个合作行为有没有贬损到中华民国的地位，有没有要消灭中华民国的主权，然后有没有要鼓吹用武力来解决两岸问题。
But they said that this was just their preliminary conclusion and that they would be continuing to look into this incident.
All right, thank you, Cadence. That was Cadence Caranta reporting from Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council in Taipei. Now, Beijing's military parade was not just a display of Chinese military might. Some in the West fear that it could be the start of a nuclear-armed authoritarian power bloc that could shift the global balance of power. John Van Trieste has more.
An evening gala in Beijing Wednesday carries on the message of a massive military parade earlier in the day. China is a global power not to be trifled with. But it's not just China's growing might that has the world's attention. Host Xi Jinping has recently called for a new multipolar world order, a challenge to the United States. And there are signs others who share China's rivalry with the U.S. are getting on board with this vision. Two of Xi's VIP guests and prominent U.S. adversaries, Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, have used the occasion to talk. Their two countries are already bound by a mutual defense treaty, and North Korean troops are helping Russia's war in Ukraine. Before leaving Beijing, the two leaders reaffirmed their growing ties.
Хочу отметить, что ваши воины сражались мужественно и героически. Никогда не забудем и тех жертв, которые понесли ваши вооруженные силы и семьи ваших военнослужащих.
아까도 말씀드렸지만 내가 당신과 러시아 인민을 위해서 할 수 있는 것이 있다면 또 해야 되는 것이 있다면 그 형제적인 그 의무로 우리가 감당해야 될 의무로 간주하고 모든 걸 다해서 도울 용의가 있습니다.
U.S. President Donald Trump, who'd earlier accused China, Russia, and North Korea of conspiring against the United States, seems to have changed his mind about China's parade.
I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very, very impressive. But I understood the reason they were doing it, and they were hoping I was watching, and I was watching. My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next week or two.
But in the EU, the event and its undertones of a shifting global order set off alarm bells, especially with Russia's war with Ukraine raging on its doorstep.
Looking at President Xi standing alongside the leaders of Russia, Iran, North Korea in Beijing today, these aren't just anti-Western optics. This is a direct challenge to the international system built on rules. And it's not just symbolic. Russia's war in Ukraine is being sustained by Chinese support.
And in Taiwan, threatened with Chinese invasion, there's concern too. Not so much about direct Russian or North Korean intervention in a war with China, but the ways Russia and North Korea could divert much-needed aid and attention from friendly countries like the U.S. and Japan.
他们之间的团结，或许他不会实质给他援助，但是当不幸战争发生的时候，他只要把会援助我们的对手的力量牵制住，其实我们的压力就很大，我们就变成是我们要独自的面对这个对岸，就中国的这个压力。
A nuclear-armed bloc to rival the U.S. and the wider West seems like it could be a done deal. The question now is how Western powers respond to Wednesday's developments. James Lin and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Among the weapons systems on display in Beijing, the unmanned systems are drawing global attention. Our reporter Alan Liu spoke with defense analyst Gao Zirong from INDSR about what these weapons signal to the world and how Taiwan might respond.
China has just showcased a range of unmanned weapon systems. How do you assess China's progress in developing such weapons?
这里面分为空中的一些无人机，大型的，就是可能是中程僚机，还有地面的一些机器人或是那个战车之类的。那水面它还有无人的水面船舰。 那我觉得它在方方面面有点在意味着，在告诉大家，它有在追赶美国的所有的作为。
The counter-drone systems on display included the Hurricane 3000. Can you tell us a bit about this?
有关飓风3000的部分，就我的了解，它侦测距离是最远到6公里，在4公里的时候可以掌握小型。 那微型的无人机大概在3公里，它在使用的时候，对周遭的民用设施也会有伤害，甚至于如果人体暴露的时间过长，也会有伤害，所以这牵扯到法律跟道德的问题。
What can Taiwan do to defend against these kinds of weapons?
我们台湾现在建构无人装备的面向，不管是空军、海军、陆军，都是以征收，然后 攻击为主。由于台湾的地面作战区域，就算是滨海、临近海滩，因为我们周遭的民用物资、设施、人员还是很多，所以很容易会影响到自己。所以这可能就是以后如果要建构这上面防御的系统的时候，也必须建构，这样才能够防御的部分也能做得到。
That was defense analyst Gao Zirong from INDSR. Taiwan has condemned China for drilling in its exclusive economic zone in recent months and is demanding an explanation from Beijing. Alan has this report as well.
An unusual response from Taiwan's presidential office, condemning China for its recent drilling in its exclusive economic zone, also known as EEZ. It comes after a report by U.S. think tank the Jamestown Foundation, which says at least 12 oil and gas vessels and permanent structures were spotted in Taiwan's EEZ in July and August. The report says the rigs are part of Beijing's broader campaign to erode Taiwan's sovereignty. The presidential office says the actions violate international law and China should provide a clear explanation.
违反了国际法律的规范，也严重冲击国际秩序，即刻停止在我国在内区域各国经济水域从事非法设置与开采的活动。
Yet some analysts say that Beijing's actions are economically driven.
问题不单单只是在这个针对台湾或说挑战台湾的管辖权的问题哈。中国因为经济下行，它要寻求战略性资源的增储上产，有了这样的一个比较侵略性的这种经济作为。
China has also been increasing other gray zone pressure tactics, including sending Coast Guard ships around Taiwan's offshore islands. Taiwan's Coast Guard says China began regular patrols around the Kinmen Islands in February last year, with Chinese Coast Guard ships passing through Kinmen waters as many as 85 times up to August this year. It's a move Taiwan views as harassment. These maneuvers have also come amid the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit and China's military parade, prime moments for Beijing's propaganda.
金马的部分呢，当然是就是比较是属于这个管辖权的挑衅哈，就是特别是针对这个海巡执法的这个权力的挑战。
But Taiwan is not sitting idly by. A Taiwan Coast Guard delegation on Wednesday visited the Philippines to discuss growing gray zone activity from Beijing. A clear signal Taiwan is looking to strengthen partnerships as China steps up the pressure. Dolphin Chen and Ellen Liu for TaiwanPlus.
A senior Philippine official is pushing back against China's latest warnings on the Philippines' relationship with Taiwan. Defense Chief Gilberto Teodoro Jr. told reporters that Beijing cannot dictate to Manila how it should implement its one China policy. Teodoro's comments come after the Chinese Foreign Ministry warned that the Philippines would face consequences for, quote, trampling on China's red line. That warning followed reports that Taiwan's Foreign Minister Ling Jialong joined a trade and investment delegation to Manila over a week ago. Both the Philippines and Taiwan neither confirmed nor denied that visit. The Philippines and its allies have held joint naval drills in the South China Sea near its northern island of Luzon. The country's military was joined by the U.S., Australian, and Canadian navies. Their activities included anti-submarine warfare drills. Manila says it monitored 2 Chinese Navy warships during those exercises. China criticized the drills and responded with what it called a routine patrol in the South China Sea on Wednesday, the same day as its massive military parade in Beijing. U.S. President Donald Trump says he might have to unwind recent trade deals with other nations if the U.S. Supreme Court rules that his tariffs are illegal.
These deals are all done. I guess we'd have to unwind them. We've done deals with Japan, with South Korea. We've done deals with many countries and others to come. And if we didn't have the power, prestige, and dignity of tariffs, if we didn't have them, they would use them on us and we would have no way to fight them. We would be a third world nation. So I think it's one of the most important cases I've ever seen go before the Supreme Court.
Last week, the U.S. Court of Appeals ruled that many of Trump's reciprocal tariffs were unlawful under the emergency powers cited by the White House. Those duties remain in place until mid-October, giving the Supreme Court time to decide whether to take up the case. Tariffs have been one of Trump's most frequently used tools in trade talks. China is stepping up its trade war with the U.S. with new anti-dumping duties on some U.S.-made fiber optic cables. China's Commerce Ministry says the levies will range from 33% to more than 78% for some cables used in undersea and long-distance data transmission. It says an investigation found that U.S. firms were skirting earlier trade measures. The decision comes just days after Washington tightened curbs on China's access to American chip-making tools. Coming up after the break, Taiwan is stepping up policies to help parents as the country struggles with one of the world's lowest birth rates. But is it working? Stay tuned to find out.
Thank you for sharing our passion for food and Taiwan. Veggie Island explores the vibrant world of plant-based cuisine.
This is amazing.
While Taiwan on the Rocks uncovers the stories and craftsmanship behind every sip.
Have you ever tried Taiwanese beer?
Are you ready to taste even more of Taiwan?
经历过人生的话，你发现说，我们大部分都是爱美的。
我自己少遇见一朵花，我可能就不是这个样子。
开始思考什么叫做一个本土性。
大声的唱出来说我是台湾人。
From a small studio in Taiwan to a global community for undaunted voices.
I'm just very grateful that they are able to spend time being part of Taiwan Talks and also being here with us today.
It's so refreshing that from a different country, from Taiwan, we are actually getting to see a show without noise, without yelling, and it's just complete facts and expert opinion.
Every single episode is about a Taiwan perspective.
Taiwanese speaking something from our heart.
Bringing forward all these different perspectives and voices to engage the world more seriously and continuously.
So the world will know that we are part of this globalized world.
British warship transited the international waters.
We're facing
without compromising our national
security. A lot of potential for these countries.
How important do you think that is?
The rule of law based order.
It's been 3 years of almost every waking hour devoted to the show. Today, we have something, and that something is precious.
For more stories from Taiwan and Osaka, download the TaiwanPlus app.
Welcome back. You're watching TaiwanPlus News. A group of 27 Kuomintang lawmakers are visiting Japan to encourage stronger trade relations between the two countries as they face challenges from U.S. tariffs.
我们积极跟友邦要积极的做相关的联系，尤其此时此刻这个美国这个经济强权关税扣关，那我们更需要区域经济的发展。那尤其日本跟台湾这个。最近而且呢是一个非常发达的经济国家，那我们有很多其实在关税上还有很多能够大家一起来探讨的问题，尤其 CPTPP 是由日本来主导。
The delegation is led by KMT Caucus Whip Fu Kunqi. The group met with Japan's House of Representatives. The Taiwanese lawmakers thanked their Japanese counterparts for supporting Taiwan's bid to join the CPTPP multilateral trade agreement despite opposition from China. This is Taiwan's largest delegation to visit Japan's Diet in history. Legislative Speaker Han Kuo-yu is expected to lead a cross-party delegation to Japan at the end of September. New rules for parental leave will give new parents more flexibility starting next year.
现行的育婴留停的做法是，这个劳工在小孩3岁前其实是可以申请2年的育婴留停，那其中6个月可以由政府来提供80%的薪资补贴。那在我们新的方案之后，也就是明年的1月1号后，劳工可以在这2年的育婴留停的这总共的期间，选择以日为单位来申请
Under the old rules, parental leave in Taiwan had to be taken in blocks of at least 1 month. The new rules will allow parents to take time off by the day. The cabinet says the change should give families more flexibility when unexpected childcare needs come up. The Labor Ministry's parental leave policies go hand in hand with new allowances for childbirth benefits next year. It's all part of the government's push for people to have more children as the population here rapidly ages. For more on the country's falling birth rate, TaiwanPlus's news program Finding Formosa has this report.
Alice Yu has spent 10 years as a demographer at Academia Sinica, studying Taiwan's population challenges.
媒体跟一些政府单位在理解这个现象的时候是有一点点错误的。很多人就会说啊，台湾的女性平均一生生不到一个孩子，那这个就是错的。
东亚这几个国家事实上是最严重，他们有一些共通的因素，传统上就是所谓儒家的观念，他就是认为说你要生小孩或是传宗接代，
所以已经结婚的夫妻，他们平均是生2个小孩的。但是为什么我们看到总生育率会降到1以下呢？是因为从20岁到49岁，有越来越多人还没结婚。那你会说为什么？
所以我们可以看到，就是说这些年来，就是女性她们在教育程度的提升非常快速，事实上非常快速，尤其是台湾有非常明显的变化。比如说，我们有女性的总统。
可是传统的亚洲文化对于妇女劳动参与非常的冲击，也就是说，当女性她的人生在经济还有教育都获得一定程度的自主性之后，通常要再进入婚姻是对他们来讲是一个很大的抉择。当他进入婚姻，他会受到婚姻里面传统的这个家庭尤其是男性这边的家庭的压力。
儿子女儿受很多教育，然后他认为他今天只要跟他男朋友女朋友同居就好了，他们在一起很开心很相爱。可是他们想要有小孩，他们想要不结婚生小孩，两边的爸爸妈妈应该都会疯掉，然后就说你们在搞什么？这个东西就是离经叛道，那你们为什么要做这么奇怪的事情？很丢脸。
像在欧洲的国家在民风上跟台湾比较不一样比如说他男女住在一起，让他们觉得我们生一个小孩不会有婚姻的关系，他们也无所谓。
法国 non-marital birth rate 是 60%， 冰岛 80%， 美国有1半，但台湾只 4%。那加上现在的后工业化、知识经济，生活费很高，养小孩很贵，种种的原因加在一起。
所以在这个情况当中，大家就要不断的避孕了，因为他觉得说，我如果生出小孩来的话，那对我的影响是非常大的。这些都是影响整个台湾这个生育率非常严重的。也希望台湾的政府要好好的加油来解决这个问题。
At the national level, the Ministry of Health and Welfare provide long-term healthcare support up to age 6, ranging from 5,000 to 15,000 NTD per month.
我们过去在生育政策里面有各式各样的做法，说要鼓励生育。其实老实说，效果有限。
生育补助没有用，其实不是只是我讲，世界上任何一个国家曾经用现金补助，在做政策评估的时候 ，policy evaluation 都跟你说这是没有用的。
我觉得台湾的政府最能够去做的就是提供友善生育的环境。
所谓环境的友善，就是整个社会文化是不是对于有生育孩子的家庭或个人是友善的文化是友善的，职场是友善的。
比如说台湾来讲，非常著名的就是非常长的工时，也很少有弹性。政府部门如果能够以自己先做起，提供更友善的一个工作环境。
这是第一个政策上的解决。
For more on Taiwan's declining birth rate, catch this episode of Finding Formosa on our YouTube channel, Taiwan Explained by TaiwanPlus. Chinese AI lab DeepSeek is pushing to release an advanced AI model by the end of the year. It would compete with cutting-edge models known as AI agents from firms like OpenAI, which can act with greater autonomy. Bloomberg reports that the model will carry out multi-step tasks on the user's behalf with little additional input. The news comes just weeks after it was reported that DeepSeek had a failed training run for its next AI model. This was because it used Chinese-made chips rather than those from top US chipmaker NVIDIA. Earlier this year, DeepSeek jolted the industry with its low-cost open-source R1 model, though it drew criticism for censoring sensitive topics, including Taiwan. Taipei Blockchain Week is drawing global industry figures to geek out on the tech behind cryptocurrency, while also highlighting policies to lure foreign talent. This year's event focused on AI and blockchain and drew speakers from companies including Google Cloud, which plans to launch its new Universal Ledger blockchain next year. Taiwan has made efforts to promote blockchain, including a draft law to establish rules for the crypto market. Programs to attract foreign talent were also highlighted, such as Taiwan's Gold Card program for highly skilled workers. Taiwan also recently extended the length of a special digital nomad visa as it seeks to emphasize the digital economy. President Lai Ching-te has met with 3 winning youth baseball teams, promising to commemorate their wins in a special way.
所以为了要纪念这个难得的时刻，我要请中华邮政来制作纪念邮票跟纪念存折，邮折，大家认为怎么样？
The young players had an impressive run in August, capturing 4 world titles. Taipei's Dongyuan Elementary School team represented Taiwan in the Little League World Series, winning the country's first title since 1996. Taichung's Zhongshan Junior High School's baseball team won the Junior League World Series, while the country's under-15 national team was victorious in the Baseball Federation of Asia's U15 Baseball World Cup. Another team of players from around Taichung took gold at the Pony League World Series. And thank you for watching TaiwanPlus News. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, let's take a look at these rats in Tanzania being trained to sniff out landmines, diseases, and even help out in search and rescue efforts. I'm Eric Gao. Take care. We'll see you next time.
For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, follow TaiwanPlus on social media.